Welcome to another edition of Northern Heat. My name is Bob Lennon, President of ThermalWood Canada, host for the show. And today we have two special guests, two newcomers to our region, Sean and Aaron Wen. Did I get that right? Okay, got it right. So you moved here last September, so you haven't been here very long as a newcomer, but you're so let's talk a little bit about where you're from and how you ended up in Bathurst.
Okay. First, thank you, Bob, for having us here. And actually, this is our first time to do this kind of podcast. So we are very much excited to have this conversation and these opportunities. So my name is Sean. I'm here with Aaron, my son. He's 11 years old. We come from Beijing, China. So it's a long way, all the way from Beijing to New Brunswick and to Chaleur region. And so we arrived New Brunswick last September or something. Mm-hmm. So as you said, we are newcomer here. And
newcomers.
Brand newcomer here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so far we really enjoy everything here.
Yeah. So Aaron, you're even younger than your father. So let's look at this for a second. So Beijing, 21 million in population. So there's a little bit of a difference there, right? So what do you find so different? And you're going to, what school are you at?
I'm currently at Superior Middle School.
Okay.
And the main thing I find different about Bathurst or New Brunswick about China is that in China, everything is so busy and everyone's rushing to places. And over here, you get to see people just strolling around. No one's rushing. And if they see you, they just say hi. And that's very friendly. And I really like that.
Well, that's kind of an interesting outlook. We don't realize that, we're so laid back and calm to do things, but you're absolutely right. Even other parts of Canada are a lot more busier than we are. But population wise, if you look at the province of New Brunswick, doesn't even fit into one little smidgen of what your city comes from. So definitely a lot less busier. So you were in school in an English school in China?
I was at a bilingual school.
Okay.
So there was some of the subjects that were in Chinese, but we also had the same subjects, but in English. For example, we had Chinese arts and English arts, Chinese math and English maths, and other subjects like arts and music are all in English.
Okay, that's interesting. So that helps you learn the language at the same time. And you speak very well, by the way. So are you doing any sports here? Are you doing anything different? Or are you just going to school and hanging around with your dad?
Back in China, I used to play hockey. And I played since I was 6 years old. So I played a long time. And playing hockey really helped me fit into this small community because I joined the Bathurst hockey team and everybody was also very welcoming.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good to hear. And I'm sure that a lot of our listeners are going to hear that too. So back to you for a second, Sean. So one of the things that, we talked about already and stuff is that why did you end up picking our region to come and live?
Actually, this is a very good question, and people ask me this question all the time. And I can speak from my personal experience. I think that Canada really have something unique and something different from any other country. Maybe this is my personal experience, but when I talk to my Chinese friend, they also have this kind of experience. I define as a newcomer sense, the newcomer culture sense here. And so, my background, I used to be an engineer. So before we decided to move to Canada, actually we picked up a number of different countries to do this plus and minus, all those things. And during this process, this newcomer sense really stands out. So back to 2019, and when we did our first exploration trip, we traveled around in different big cities in Canada and in New Brunswick. We visited each and every cities, St. John, Moncton, Fredericton, And every place we visited, we met people from government, we met people from Chamber of Commerce, Multicultural Association, Newcomer Center, and all those people, they are really nice people, and they are very much welcome and support each of the newcomer. And very interestingly, from all those discussions, one of the key words coming out all the time is newcomer. So they do not see you as an immigrant per se.
Okay.
So they really think everybody is a newcomer to Canada. And so you are from local. So maybe you do not have this subtle feeling, experience. But when you are leaving your home country and you go to another place, the sense of belonging and the sense to be part of the local community is really make everything different. And here, everybody is newcomer and they welcome, they support each of the newcomer. They do not say, oh, there's an immigrant. So this really make me feel very comfortable. And this I like very much.
Well, it's kind of an interesting way of looking at it, and it's pretty complementary to our area, right? The Chaleur area. So we welcome people with warmth.
We're a very big heart.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of big hearts, we did have a name that came up of somebody that you work with, both of you, when you first came here. And let's hear a little bit of your story about your first encounters and first visits. I don't know who wants to speak first. Do you want to talk about your experience the first day that you came to our area?
Yeah. So in the first day, the mayor, Kim, personally welcomed us to Bathurst, and she drove us around in her car. She showed us the beach. She showed us many different communities, and she takes us to sushi.
Which the food he loves very much.
It works out.
Yeah. It works out. Yeah.
Then after that, we went to the city hall, and I got to be the mayor of the day.
Oh, look at that. And first day in town. Imagine already playing politics. But, we can say all kinds of great things for Kim. She's really a great spokesman for the northern part of New Brunswick. And she loves it when she's able to steal somebody away that could end up in the southern part of the province and can come in here. For her, it's another feather in her hat. And so you had a good experience. And I also hear that you're having some other discussions with the mayor on other different things.
Right.
And so it's one of the questions I'd like to broach too while we're here is that you're coming from another country, you're coming in here, but you're bringing something to our region.
Right.
You're going to learn what our culture is, but we also have an opportunity to learn from you. But one of the things that you're bringing to our area, and let's talk about that in a little bit more detail. You got some projects that you're thinking about here.
Yes. So I came here under the provincial nomination program as the investor. So I came here to invest and to create a business. So that's part of the program. And actually, the project I have been working on in the last 4 or 5 months is I call it Foldable for affordable. So before we moved to Canada, even in China, all over the news, we know that in Canada we have the housing crisis, we have this inflation and the cost of living, everything. But only when we physically moved to Canada, arrived in New Brunswick, we realized how serious the issue is here. So from our personal experience, we stay in the hotel for more than a month before we find a simple place to stay. And eventually we settled down. We settled down in Beresford. And when we talk to people around, whether it's our Chinese friend or the new immigrant or other newcomer here, or even the nurse here, they all have the same issue. And so the housing crisis is so severe that it really gives people lots of pressure. First is availability. You do not have the place to stay.
Yeah.
And second, the rent went up crazily. So what do we do? So I'm from China. I'm here to invest. I'm here to create a business. So, in China, in the last 30, 40 years, we become the manufacturing center for the world. Basically, we produce, we manufacture everything cheap, and we have very reasonable quality. Everything is very much advanced. So when we talk, so I started to talk to the builders here. I talk to the prefab manufacturer here. So more or less the same. So the answer is always first is shortage of the labor. That's a big issue. And the second is the cost of the material went up a lot. And the third is not in my backyard, because when you try to put more housing, more affordable housing, normally you want to go for high density, or you also want to do it quick and do it at a reasonable cost. And so when I talk to the builders here, I talk to the prefab here, seems that, it's really a difficult issue here. So it takes 10 months, all the way even to up to a year to build a single family house here. And also it's cost a lot, and we do not have the labor. So even the physical job on site, 3-4 months easily. So that's why we do not have enough supply. So we have this big shortage. So I started to try to put the pieces together. I went back to China. I traveled around, and I visited different manufacturer, prefab manufacturing in China. So eventually I come up with this Foldable for affordable. My idea is to work with the provincial government, to work with the city government, to have this private and public partnership. And the idea is to bring the prefab with the foldable design to Canada, to New Brunswick. Then I can build, with the support of the government, I can build up the affordable housing very quickly and very reasonable cost. And I can be part of the affordable housing program, and then people can have a place to stay and to have affordable rent they can pay. So how it works, basically the house itself is prefabricated in China because of the design. So we can fold and we can squeeze into the big container, we ship. After arrive on site, we unfold, we install the kitchen, we install the bathroom, and then we do the hookup with the electricity, water, sewage, and then we have a house. By this approach, we can do it faster, we can do it cheaper, and by the end of the day, we can provide the housing.
Because you're correct. Like anywhere on the news you're listening to it, there's a crisis going on, and even when the federal government put their budget in just a few weeks ago, they were talking about affordable housing and the fact that there's so many people that are moving into the country that they don't have any places, and in a lot of big cities, the prices are through the roof. Yeah. If they want, even a condo, costing millions of dollars in some of the big cities, which is crazy. Right. And your point and your research that you've made that there's an issue with medical staff that are coming in from outside, don't have places to stay. We have students that are going to the college. We're looking at expanding the college campus. But one of the big things that's been a discussion is housing for an additional amount of students. So, and all of this also brings revenues to our communities. Yeah. The building and stuff and the rents and so on and so forth. So it's a required event. It's a project that we really need, and I really appreciate the fact that you're looking at this, that you're seriously looking at it. It's not just a pipe dream. You've been back to China and looking at the stuff, and you and I have gone online and you've made a presentation for me on the stuff, and it's impressive of what you're doing. So as a newcomer, I welcome both of you to our region, and I want to thank you for looking at this, because the affordable, and you and I have been joking about this, but the foldable part of buildings is also pretty impressive. We see that on videos and we see it in stuff, but It's not a concept that we've ever used. So you're going to introduce something new. So what are you bringing to our region? You're bringing investment, you're bringing new ideas, and you're bringing a solution to a problem that we have. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. And welcome to you too.
Thank you, Bob. Very nice to be here.
And we're looking forward to seeing how you make out with your project, and wish you the best of luck in hockey and school. And there we are, another edition of Northern Heat for this week, the place you come to listen to the stories that haven't been discovered yet.